Did you ever play a nice opening, but your opponent did the same, and you look at the board and you're like, okay, my position looked good, but how do I continue and what is my plan? Well, let me show you for a Caro-Kann what the plan is. So we just play normal exchange Caro-Kann. I attack the pawn. My opponent defends like this, which I don't really like. I opt to play for this. Now you can try to develop this knight because the point of this is that you put the bishop here to stop his bishop from going there, and your queen stops the bishop from going there. So you attack the knights, you develop the knight because it's a good move, but also because it threatens to develop to g4. And now you play h3, this bishop is dead, and the best move is to launch an attack in the center instantly, and after takes, retreat the bishop. I like white's position better. I don't even know what the best move here is for. I don't know, to be honest. Like, what is the best move? Best move, survey says, is pin the knight. Fair enough, that looks quite great. And after you unpin the knight, you play bishop to e3. Yeah, okay, just develop the bishops and then you'll develop the knights. And fair enough, this looks a bit better. You do give up your light squared bishop, but it's not a problem. And your opponent just has this weak pawn. And then your game plan, by the way, here will be to play against the weak pawn. So what I play is this. And then after you strike in the center, you can take, pin it, unpin it, develop, take, and now you control the advancement of the pawn. You will dance around to try and stop it again. And after you castle, put your rooks in the center, you will start attacking it, and that's your whole game plan. Like, that's the only thing you will do in this game. Everything you do will be around, first of all, stopping this bishop from developing actively. Second of all, just stop this pawn and attack this pawn. That's your whole game plan. So that's your first practical tip. And if you enjoy practical tips, you should subscribe. So my opponent went for this, but this allows my bishop to actually develop, which looks not too good. But we play a couple of moves. And the engine likes what we're doing here. We're just developing. Engine says excellent moves and best moves. And here I already go for this move. So you have this structure where we both have light squared bishop, we both have quite nice knights, we both have okay queens, we have dead rooks. So the only thing we can do is the engine wants to trade bishops so that I can get a nice pawn clamp in the center. That's one plan to go for. The other plan to go for is putting this rook on the c file first to just develop a piece. And the third best move is to start advancing these pawns. The engine likes this more, but I don't understand why, because it's quite difficult to push this pawn now. So let's say a4, and now this plan is a bit dead. So I don't understand why you would do this, but I don't care. So your second plan is, if you see this pawn structure, you should think about, can I attack with my two pawns, his three pawns, and create a weakness, and that's called a minority attack, and you see it a lot in the Caro-Kann. So I instantly go for this minority attack. I calculated a lot around this because you can take my bishop, I will take with the knight. Now I have a checkmate threat, you have to block it. I can just retreat or retreat like this, and you have created a weakness, and I can just keep attacking. Or I could take, but if I take, you take with the pawn, now I'm actually forked. So I calculated a lot and I chose to just ignore. And if you took my bishop, I got my position. So take, you have to stop, mate. And if I want, I can just retreat. If I don't want, I can just push my plan and I will be totally fine. And after you are like, take, and you're already slightly losing. Like, Oh, you are completely losing if I take this one? Oh, because I infiltrate better. Fair enough, and you have to stop my infiltration, probably. That's an even worse move. Why? I thought about takes, and if you take, I can move my knight with a check and I will win your queen, but any check I can give you, you can just take with your queen. This almost works, like take, and now if I could give a check where your queen cannot take it, I'm totally winning, but that doesn't work. I mean, this is completely losing to knight to e5. Oh, and I'm just hammering on this while attacking your bishop. So you probably have to give up your bishop. And then I can queen takes b4, attacking everything. Yeah, okay, this looks dead. Fair enough. Yeah, that's beautiful. So you cannot allow my pawn to arrive here because I can just create too many weaknesses and I will just instantly win. So he tries whatever this is, and I can actually arrive, and this is an inaccuracy, but takes is the best move, and here I have to find knight to e7 to control the light squares, and I looked at it a lot, and I don't really understand why. Probably he wants to just trade his bishop off to put a knight here. I think the plan is, but I don't know. I don't like those structures, to be honest. So I opt to trade this bishop because he pushed his pawns. And if we look, if you watched my video against the 2000 rated player, which did, by the way, great. Thank you for everyone who watched that one. If you push a pawn, you should look at the Tetris piece behind it. So he pushed all of these pawns. This is actually controlled. So all of this is also controlled. So all of this is quite weak now. So if I can just trade off the light squared bishops, these two will be very vulnerable, and one of those is actually controlled by a pawn, and I can hop a knight in instantly. So I thought that was great. Takes, and now I just have this outpost, which looks very nice. I can just go for it, and now I'm totally winning. So he defends the pawn. I take and take because this knight was actually quite annoying. And I develop my rooks. So I have a semi-open file and I have an open file. I just take both. Easy as that. You see semi-open file and open file, just take it. You see an outpost for the knight, just take it. Take everything that's yours. And here he makes a mistake, but I cannot really capitalize. I thought I should infiltrate with my queen. I see I see a queen in the center. I want to infiltrate. And my knight now serves the purpose of actually controlling these squares, but the rook stops me from, and the queen stops me from actually using them. So here I thought I just infiltrate and maybe try to clamp on this square so I could maybe infiltrate through it. But he took, and here I had to take with the queen, and I blunder my -3 advantage. So I thought if I took with the queen, I'm not actually infiltrating here, I'm not infiltrating here, I'm not infiltrating here, I'm not infiltrating here, I'm not infiltrating here. So I think the plan of the engine is to try and infiltrate like this, but then you can kick me with the knight still. So I don't actually understand the plan of the engine here. He wants queen to h4, stopping me from playing this probably. After which I just play f6, kicking your knight, and you have to play queen g4. So if I take your knight, you can take my queen with a fork, so I lose everything. And if I take my queen, you can take with the knight. So this is actually quite a nice move, to be honest. And now I have to take, you take with the knight, and here I have the crushing move. I just take a pawn. Uh, Knight to e3, and now I go for what the hell? I sack a rook, and if you take... Oh, this is actually defended. What am I talking about? Yeah, so you just blunder the rook, the pawn. What if you do not blunder the pawn? Does this blunder? I don't think so, right? Take, 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 take. No. Then I have knight to d2. Rook goes to d3. I have a5. Oh, and I just start pushing my passed pawn. And this is actually a lesson, I think, from one video ago. I didn't recap the previous game, did I? The previous game we saw how you should go about endgames. I was up one pawn against a 1900, I believe my previous game was, and the problem I had was that actually my one pawn advantage wasn't felt because it's only a pawn and it's not doing anything. And I told you in the video, like 2 videos ago, I had a 2 pawn advantage, and the engine wants to sack one pawn in order to push the other extra pawn. So that that pawn became a threat, you have to allocate a piece defending that pawn. And if you allocate a piece to defend the pawn, I have the extra piece to win more pawns. Yes, if you like practical tips like that and you don't want to miss out, subscribe. So that's how you go about winning endgames up a pawn. I have an extra pawn, so what should I do? I should push it so that you need a rook to stop it. If you need a rook to stop a pawn, I have a free rook to roam around to win more pawns and make more passed pawns. And then I have to allocate more pieces because I have more passed pawns, and then I can just overwhelm you with all of my extra pawns. That's how you win a endgame up one pawn. I have an extra pawn and I'm not pushing it, which is stupid. Yeah, so I just don't know what I learned in my own video. And in the previous video, I lost the game because I had an extra pawn, I didn't push it, then I just lost the pawn, and then we were in a zugzwang position, but we still had pawns, and it was basically a 50-50 who should not, like, who had the last pawn move, and then the other is in the zugzwang. So I infiltrated bad. I don't infiltrate in the right way. Here he pushes and I try to do this, which is dumb, but I thought, I mean, my rook is as powerful here. You cannot defend now like this. And now he defends, and if you defend, you lose grip over other structures. So he should have played his queen to e3. And if I take this pawn, you have absolutely nothing. Cool. Yeah, absolutely nothing. So I don't understand why the engine is so willing to give everything up, but I mean, if it's worse to defend it. So I attack and you defend, which is bad. And now I think you just move your queen. What did this move do? It loses grip over these infiltration squares. So now I'm thinking about I can maybe infiltrate with my queen via the dark squares. That's why I played this. The engine hates it and thinks that I should put my queen here. I don't actually know the plan of it. Maybe it's to just actually infiltrate like that. And it's basically the same, but you have one more move, but here you don't have this defensive resource. If I do this, you can also always just block it. This is maybe more difficult to block. You can block me with this, fair enough, and now I have to go back here. So first I have to go here to force your rook on an open file, and then I come back. And if I go here, it's a mistake because this is not forced, but your rook is not doing anything. Oh, here you have rook to c2 and I cannot infiltrate because you can ask a trade. That's the difference. I have to threaten infiltration so that your piece coordination is messed up and I can come back and you cannot ask for this rook trade anymore. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's such a nuance. Like, that's so difficult to see. And also, one thing is that if I give a check, you block, I will never have any infiltration here. If your rook is there, maybe I can infiltrate because you can never block me. And okay, so this just stops this ID so that my grip over this is stronger. I didn't see that. If I calculated this and then you can trade rooks, so how do we stop? How do I stop you from trading rooks? I do find this, I think, but that's incredible. And here he attacks my queen, but he lets me infiltrate. And this is always a big team. Infiltration is always very, very, very risky. So I can just infiltrate. You go here, and I have a maiden tree. If you want to pause, be my guest. I didn't find it, by the way. So the actual mate is check. And if you go here, you lose to, I think, double check. No, not double check. You lose to... What do you lose to? Oh, check like this. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Because you can block again. Yeah, fair enough. Check. Check. Go here. Where is my mate? Oh, this is correct. And what if you go here? Oh, my knight controls that. You have to block and I just mate you. Oh, I'm dumb. Oh yeah, okay, so I didn't see that. So you go here, check. If you go here, I just have to find check and mate. And if you go here, I have the same check, block, and mate. So basically completely the same. I didn't see that, so knight here just completely wins. I go for the second best move, queen check. You have to go here. And the cleanest here is check, only move to block. I can check, only move to block, and I can mate. That's the cleanest. I didn't find that at all. After check, I thought I was very clever. I did find a way too fancy checkmate, so I check you again. Point being that if you block its mate, if you go here, I have rook check. If you move, I have ladder mate. If you take, I have mate. I did not see this move too. If I tell you I got a way too fancy checkmate, I got a way too fancy checkmate. So I check. Point being, if you go here, this is mate. If you go back, I have the same mate in 2 with... Wait, does check not work here? Check. Oh no, because I don't have this check. So I have queen e3 check if I want it. That's mate in 2. Check. You go here. And I have mate. And if you block, I can take. So I have that mate. I can also queen h4 check. That's what I played. But this leads to a mate in 1. If you do this, now your rook cannot block, so this is a ladder mate. I did not see that. I thought that this was a completely necessary staircase to give this diagonal check, forcing your king here and leaving this square open for my knight. If you go here now, I can check, you have to block, I can take. If you move here, which happens, I have check and I made you, but that's completely unnecessary because this is also made in 1. So I did miss thousands of checkmates, but I did see my infiltration. I did see a beautiful infiltration plan. I did see everything that I missed now. And I hope I teach you how to actually win a pretty drawn middle game. And if you like tips like that, subscribe for sure, and I will see you in the next one.